Hello! I know this video has been sitting in edit, like almost completely done since September. I know I'm late, but I'm not late because they haven't announced anything for Halloween Horror Nights, okay? This is the vlog from when we went to Halloween Horror Nights back in September. We also went and did a whole bunch of like craziness, you'll see. It's gonna start with a makeup thing. If you want a full tutorial on it, I can do that and show you the full face chart somewhere. But I made a face chart for this because I wanted to match my dress that I'm wearing in the video. I think I did a pretty good job at it. We'll see. In some of the pictures that I took, it looked a little off, but that's just me. So yeah, hope you enjoy.
So shine some light on the fit. Oh my God! Make some noise for Olivia. Okay. Spin it around one time. Speaking of spin it around, Olivia, come on over here by the wheel, please.
Come with her if you want to live, am I right?
Shit. Terminator. Olivia, you're going to be very gentle when you spin this, okay? Very gentle, gently. Just use 2 fingers. Don't listen to them. They're bad influences. Okay, ready? Spin. Your favorite fucking holiday cocktails and screams? I can tell Halloween's your favorite holiday. I can fucking tell it. Okay.
You look like Halloween, but in the best way.
I love it. Just fiery. Okay, Olivia, you have to give us your best horror scream. Notice there's 2 syllables. Horror, not horror scream. That's a different scream. Horror scream, okay? So, no microphone whatsoever. On the count of 3, I want you to sound like Freddy's coming for you, like that's your fantasy. Jason Voorhees. Oh, Jesus Christ. She was in theater. Okay, she's a drama kid. Let's hear a drama kid scream on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Make some noise for Olivia. Fuck you. You're really going to be screaming now because you have to drink this whole drink in front of everybody all at once.
That was final girl energy, and we appreciate that.
I love it. You would have made it.
Hello. Today we have some apartment tours and more Halloween 4 nights later. I don't know if you saw the last clip, but last night was crazy. So. Also, we might go to the pool later. We'll see. It's supposed to be rainy today, so
I've seen you shaking in fear, yet begging for more. You got me going to go looking for more. Hostels, pirates, even cloud. I don't want your worship. I want what you want. So what is that? Dear Cora, I come easier in your soul and prepare you for something more. Power, immortality. As this, or a night begins!
Oh, Gemini's up here, look.
Uh-oh. Oh no. Okay. Just oh my god. Oh. Oh. He's going to high five. You keep pulling away from me. Oh, Mom, you're not paying attention. Ah! Oh, look at this. I got you. Oh. Oh, hi. Hi. We have the same glasses. What's up? Mom. You're about to get lost. Oh my god. Oh god, shit.
tribute store, we walked in, and at first it looked like just some like creepy hallway that you probably shouldn't be in, like you shouldn't be there. And then you walk through the first room and all the story and everything is there, which I thought was really cool. You could probably stay and walk through all of the rooms to get the whole story. I tried to get as much as possible. But as you can see, it was very busy the night we went. We went 2 nights. So the first night we couldn't do anything because it was raining. So none of the scare actors were out. There wasn't much theming out, so we didn't get much for scare zones, which kind of sucked. For the second night, it was drizzling, so they decided to just throw everyone out there anyways. And the second night was the busiest night of the park. It was sold out. So that was fun. But we walked into the tribute store, and the merch this year was great. I have several pieces of the merch. I have the Scare Zone shirts. You'll probably see a picture of that. Scare Zone. I have the official Halloween Horror Nights shirt. And then, oh, hi, cat. But I have the official Halloween Horror Nights shirt and the Boo Bag. I wish there were more bags with better quality. That's the only thing that I will say, because I have the Boo Bag. The little coin purse that comes with it is really nice, but you put it inside this little flap, and the flap is starting to fall apart. But I also used that bag religiously after I got it, so that could be the case too. The straps are like, they're not leather. Wish they were. I would have splurged a little bit more on the straps. They're very cheap kind of straps, but all in all, I like the design of the bag. I think there's a couple more bags. I can't even remember. If I can find them, I'll show you. But I love the bag. I love the shirt. I have shot glasses somewhere. You'll see them at some point. I don't know. But shot glasses are nice. I actually have used them. They are double shot glasses, and then they have the regular shot glasses, or toothpick holes. Sorry, my bad. What else? When you go through the tribute store, it very packed, very much packed. I would suggest going on a slower night. We thought it was going to be slower the second night around, but it was sold out. So, tribute store was nice. I could have spent all my money. Like I said, we went for 2 nights. The first night they didn't have no props, nothing, no one was out. We couldn't really get the gist of it. I didn't want to go based on that. The second night we went, and they had everyone out in full force. I know they missed the previous night, so they were all out there. The first scare zone that you walked into was the big Halloween Horror Nights arch that's right in front of the gates when you first walked in. The cool thing about it is if you were there for opening, Dr. Oddfellow was there the entire time up until, I think, once everyone finally ushered into the park, he left to go to the other scare zones or to his house. That scare zone is always a mishmash of houses, scare zones, stuff in this year's theme. We had a few clowns in there from Dr. Oddfellow's house. We had a couple things from years past that were there. Some of the bats were there. This cat was not there. We had, what else was it? The clowns with chainsaws from Eddie's house, or Eddie's scare zone a few years back. We had some of them. But Dr. Oddfellow's story, all in all, is that he's always there. He's a shapeshifter. He's always gonna be there. So, when we were going through all the scare zones, we knew that, and we were trying to find Dr. Oddfellow throughout all of them, and I think we successfully found him in every single scare zone, which was really nice, because I thought maybe they'll have a different scare actor, or maybe they won't time it right, but no. Every time they did a cast change, there was a new Dr. Oddfellow that came through. What was it? We went, so instead of going through straight and then around, we went the opposite way and went right and then around. We went to the right, and that was the Zodiacs. I thought they were great. I loved them. They were very spooky looking, but they didn't have very many, like, hidey holes, and I don't know if that was just because it was still, like, wet outside, so they didn't want to bring everything out just in case, but they didn't have very many hidey holes. You can see, probably in one of the little clips, Gemini comes out, and it is pretty cool that there's there's the front, and then there's the back of the mask, and then they just do the whole scary you from front and behind thing. I thought it was really cool. I believe we found Dr. Oddfellow here, if I can find a clip of it. We also went through the scare zone during the nighttime, and it was much harder to find everyone and see everything. So if you're wanting to go to actually get scared, probably go later on in the night. But the next one was the Jungle Ladoon, or Dr. Oddfellow's Jungle. Name will be here. Went through that one. If you go in the backwards order, it tells the story of the jungle and how it is doomed, is crazy, is scary. When you first go up to the scare zone, there is Dr. Oddfellow finding his, I believe it's his gem for his staff. You see him finding that, and that's when he harnesses his power and then starts unleashing everything. So when you go from that, you go straight to the scare zone, and all the plants are coming to life. Everyone is coming after you now. That, I loved the story of it. What was scare zone we went through? I don't recall the name of it. It was still circusy Dr. Oddfellow's theme. I will try to find the name of it somewhere. But you go through it, and again, this could have just been because it was still drizzling, raining outside, but it was, we had a couple cages, and then there was a circus car with animals in it, and I don't remember it all too much now that it is March, but I do remember that there was not that many scare actors in there. But as you can see from the clip that you saw, there was a lot of people out that night, so I don't know if they were trying to get everyone to get out of the way so they could get scare actors in or what, but there was a cage, and it looked like Tinkerbell or a fairy was in there, and she was possessed and turning evil and trying to come out and kill everyone. And then in the circus car, there was a couple random circusy people in there, evil, trying to run after you. But that was the only thing. I think that was an extension of the Dr. Oddfellow's Jungle of Doom. I believe so. If not, I could be wrong. Again, we'll see this. We'll see the name in all the scare zones and everything like that later. The next scare zone was the vamp. I believe it's vamp 89. I think it's vamp 89. If I'm wrong, I will correct myself. But I love that scare. That's pretty cool. I will say the scare actors for that one were dressed like a normal person would dress in, well, not in today's era, but still relevant to their time. But that fashion is this fashion now, so everyone looked normal except they had blood on their hands or blood on their face, and they had the vampire teeth or the angry eyebrows. And as you can see from the screenshot that I took, he looks normal, right? So you wouldn't guess from behind that that's a scare actor. So the scares were great. I think I had one person who actually had the same glasses as me, who's like one of the characters that had the same glasses as me, and they were like walking next to me the whole time, and I thought they were another person, and they scared the bejesus out of me. So, I love that one. I love the theming of it. I love the Volkswagen bus that they had out, and I don't know if it was an authentic one or not, but they were dancing around it like it was the music festival, and then they had the stage with the music festival stuff all over it, and you can see that the act had gone wrong, and it was really cool. They did a little sideshow. I don't know if we actually caught that or not. We did walk through it again later in the evening just to see if we could see anything else, but all in all, I do really like that scare zone. I think that one was my number one, just because of everyone being able to blend in with you. It wasn't as scary as I thought it was. Sorry, the camera angle keeps changing. I have to look this stuff up to jog my memory. Because again, it's March when I'm filming this. Anyways, last but certainly not least, the Megan hordes. I don't understand the Megan movie. I don't know if anyone liked it, if it was actually scary or not. When I saw the trailer for it, I suggested to not see it, just because I love Blumhouse. Blumhouse has hit or misses for me personally. Like, Purge movies were great. We could have stopped after like 2 or 3, and I think there's 5 or 6 Purge movies if I'm not mistaken. Blumhouse, their haunted house normally is also a hit or miss for me. So last year with the Black Phone and the Vincent Vaughn movie, you'll see the names of them. Those two, the Black Phone wasn't too bad. I thought it could have been scarier, and the Vince Vaughn movie, again, name is somewhere. It wasn't that great. But then in years past, there's been hits with other houses. I didn't understand the movies, so I didn't really think that they were super scary or needed to be a house. But then again, that's just my opinion. But the Megan hordes, I understand that we needed to break up the crowd a little bit more. I feel like instead of the Megan hordes, we could have done something else. But in years past, we've had clown hordes to break up parts of the park that don't have scare zones and or scare actors in it, and they would just release them in like the Simpsons area, or just in other empty areas of the park where they're trying to get people to go all the way through. We didn't get to see them do their show for whatever reason. Every time that we saw them, both the first and the second night, they had already done the show, and they were just out there taking pictures with people. I didn't understand it. They weren't doing anything scary. They were just doing a dance show. I feel like instead of making that random, we should have had select times and select locations for it. Just so we could have either gotten a bigger crowd together, or at least majority of the people would have saw it. Because by the time we got over there, there was maybe a few people standing there watching. And it just, from the video, as you can see, I'm just confused about the Megan hordes. I don't think we should bring them back. If we do bring back hordes, I suggest not the Megan ones. The clown ones will do. For my final ranking of the scare zones, I wrote it down on a piece of paper down here, so that's why I'm looking down. Number 1, Vamp 69. 69, not 89. They've done 89 in the past, so that's why I was getting confused. But Vamp 69, number 1, just because of how everyone was blended in, and also there's a lot more scare actors in Vamp 69 than I saw in any of the other scare zones. Again, that could have just been the night we went on. But number 2, Jungle of Doom. I love that there's a story to it and that you actually have to follow it through like the correct way in order to get your little story, because as you saw, I believe in one of the clips, there's not another like stage on the other side to have that same showing. I wish they would do that so you don't get confused and have to go around a certain way, and you can just go whichever way you want to, so you can get that story. But I understand that the area that it was in, it was still a bottleneck, and you're trying to get people to go through and get out, kind of thing. Third, Dark Zodiac. It wasn't spooky. It was spooky looking, but it wasn't too scary for me. I'm also obsessed with Zodiac signs as of lately, so seeing Gemini was my favorite. Cancer, I found my Cancer sign. Seeing all the different Zodiac signs. Now, they're not all out at once. There are only a few select ones that'll come out here and there. When we went through it a couple times, it was Gemini, and then Cancer, and then I believe Capricorn. Then I think it switched over to Pisces and some other signs that we didn't get to see earlier. I wish I could have gotten a picture or a video of it, but they're not all the same zodiac that sits there. But I think it comes to the consensus of, especially with the Halloween Horror Nights page, that the Gemini was the favorite because of the head switching and can scare you from all angles. Number 4, the Dr. Oddfellows collection. That's the one where in the front gate, the Halloween Horror Nights sign, Dr. Oddfellow. I rated that 4 because most of it is just to get you into the park, to get you to be scared and stuff. When we went for both of the nights, there wasn't very many scare actors out. It was just a few here and there. But when we were leaving the park, they did bring out a couple more, but it was still not as crazy as I thought it would be compared to the first 2 scare zones that I talked about. So it wasn't great. It was still spooky, still felt the vibe. It just wasn't it for me. Number 5, the Shipyard 32. That's the one with all the crates and all the things that have been washed ashore. Apparently, I did not get that story. I did not get really much theming for it. I mean, besides the crates, but I did not get much of the theming. There wasn't too much of a story there. I was still kind of confused. I know it's based on Dr. Oddfellow coming back from Jungle of Doom with all these creatures with him so he can unleash them or turns them into something. I don't remember. If you listen to the Universal podcast, they had the whole story there in audio form, so you can at least get an idea of what you were going into. The Shipyard one, not it. There wasn't very many scare actors. There's a lot of people. I'm hoping that this year they change the theming, because I believe past couple years now they've had something where it made sense, but it didn't really make sense. There wasn't too much story behind it in the area. I believe it's in front of the Fast and Furious exit and like a gift shop, so it's not like in a good location either. I get the shipyard theme because the water's right there. We could have executed it a little bit better, but yeah, these are my rankings. Feel free to fight me in the comments. Please don't. I cry. But this is my ranking for at least this year. Of course, Universal does not let you, or at least Universal Orlando Resort. I don't know about California, but with Orlando, they don't allow you to film in the houses like at all. And that's completely understandable with how much time, effort, energy, money, people are involved with this, so I'm not upset about this. But you're just gonna have to believe my word on it if you did not go. We had 10 houses this year. We went through all 10. For the first time in 3 years, we went through all 10 houses. Last year we were only able to make it through 4 houses before we had to leave, but we last year also went on Halloween with no fast pass, so that is understandable. First year we only went through a couple houses before I got overwhelmed and I had to go. So 1 through 10, number 1, I'm not gonna skip out on this. This is Universal Classic Monsters house. No, that was last year. Universal Unmasked. That one, absolutely terrifying. Every corner, every time, we were getting terrified. We did not get jump scared by the people in front of us. They did not get any scares in front of us or behind us. So it didn't ruin anything, but at the same time, I kind of felt bad for the people in front of us and the people behind us. But for us, when we went through it the first time, scare after scare after scare, and then at the end, it was all 4 monsters coming after you, and they were going down the hallway as you were leaving. As you thought you were done, no, you're going down the hallway and there's all of them right there. Absolutely loved it. I love the Universal Monsters houses. Every year we've gone through them and I've loved them. Last year was no different. I loved that one. I believe that one was the Classic Monsters one. That one was amazing. I love that one. The set design, amazing. Loved it. Nothing really got ruined, because I know sometimes when you look at the houses, you can see all the behind the scenes stuff where the lighting and this and all the craziness. No, there was no seeing it. You were focused on getting out of the house because everyone's coming after you. Number 2, I put as The Exorcist. And now I know I said that Blumhouse movies are a hit or a miss for me. This was a hit. I did not watch the movie. This house came out before the movie came out, so I had no idea what I was getting into. We knew something Exorcist related was going to be in it because it's called The Exorcist. But I put that second because there was, I believe, 4 or 5 rooms where it is you're in the bedroom with 1 or 2 of the little girls, and it looks like a doll, but all of a sudden it jumps at you and you're trying to run after them. Now, they did a really good job with scare actors this year. I don't know how many times I got jump scared in this house, but it was plenty enough for me to not want to go back in it and do it again. I still have not seen the movie to correlate any of these things with it, but the main demon person that you see in it is throughout the whole, and then you have the little girls, of course, but you have the little demon thing that's chasing after you, and I swear there were times where they were getting like pretty close to you and you're up against the wall because you're trying to get out, but there's people in front of you, so you can't run them over. But I loved that one. It was great. Number 3, Blood Moon. Loved it. Loved the theming of it. I did listen to the podcast beforehand of this episode in specifics just because I didn't know what I was getting into. I think they've had a Blood Moon one before. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they have. But the Blood Moon Dark Offering, that one, I will say, was pretty terrifying. The theming was great. Everyone was great. It was set in like old-timey, like pilgrim-ish village, and it smelled like it too. They did amazing on the smells because you walk through the house and it smelled like a farm. It smelled like hay, it smelled like grass, it smelled like poop, it smelled like, it was gross. And that's what you get hit with the first room that you go into, and then the second one you go into, you're getting jump scared. And meanwhile, you can look up and then the Blood Moon's right there. So they did really good with the theming. I don't think we got too many scares, but I love the theming. It was pretty terrifying when people would be above you, pointing down, they're trying to redirect you, and then there's people behind you that are getting scared, and it's just terrifying. Number 4, The Last of Us. I loved The Last of Us. The video game, I have not seen the show, but from what I have seen, it is pretty much the same thing. I loved the video game, I loved it all. The house was great. I loved it. There were some things that were in the Orlando house that were not in the California house, and vice versa. I wish we could have gotten some of the stuff from California here. I think they had like this big sound stage stuff set up, and I wish we could have gotten that. But towards the end of it, we thought we were good, but we killed all the clickers. And then the bloaters come out, and there was one scene we're going down this hallway in a house, and the bloater comes out, and me and the person I went with were literally up against the wall because they were so close to us. I don't know if they could see us or not because the makeup was huge, the body thing was huge. So I don't know if they could actually see us and tell how far away we were, but it was great. I loved it. It was pretty scary. We only went through it the one time because it was always a 75-minute wait at least. And that was with Fast Passes. Like, it was so fun. Number 5, The Darkest Deal. I did listen to the episode before we went into this house, to get the general idea of it. It was great. It was pretty scary, I'm not gonna lie, but we didn't get too many scares. Like, it was hit or miss on the scares. We did get like the big scenes where they're talking about the story, but we didn't get too many jump scares, and there wasn't a whole lot of like scariness about it. Like, there's people. Other than that, I thought it was a really good storytelling wise. It was really good. But other than that, that's why it's rated 5 on my list. Number 6, Stranger Things. Now listen, I know people are Stranger Things fans. I don't watch Stranger Things. I've seen clips of it on TikTok or Instagram or whatever. I think we're done with Stranger Things. I think we're done with Stranger Things as a house. I think we need to phase out and go to a different direction with that. Stranger Things is just not it. I don't really care for it. The only thing that I will say that I did like was the scene at the end of season 4, I believe, where they're battling the Demogorgon, or what is it? The demon. But they were in that scene, and Metallica's playing, and they got the guitars. And I will say that scene was pretty cool. There wasn't anything really scary about it. The Vecna, that's what it is, Vecna. There's a bunch of Vecnas around, but they looked scary, but they weren't super scary. They looked more stiff than anything, and that's understandable because they're wearing a mask and makeup and latex, and some of that stuff just can't move, so that's understandable. But I don't get it. I'm tired of Stranger Things. It's the same thing with Walking Dead. We had Walking Dead for how many years? I think we're done with Stranger Things. I think we're done with it. Number 7, Dr. Oddfellow's House. And I only rate this number 7 because when we went through it, I personally did not get a single scare. We waited 3 hours for this house, and we didn't have fast passes the night that we did do this house, but I did not get a single scare personally. My person that was with me did not like clowns at all and was very verbal about it, and I'm pretty sure we went through cast change about 3 or 4 times because they were walking by, and I'm pretty sure someone must have told someone something because she got every single scare, and some of them followed her out of the room to the next room. So I know I'm giving this a pretty low rating. Theming was great, everything was great, makeup was great, but I did not get a single scare. So 7 for me. Now for someone else, that's probably up there, but theming, story, I did listen to the podcast of this house as well before we went in, and I will say it pretty much correlates. I wish they did the theming of like Blood Moon with the smells and stuff in there, because in the podcast it specifically states the smell of everything, but you can't, there's no smell. They don't pump a smell in there or anything like that, which is understandable because it's supposed to be the smell of rotting corpses. So, but I wish we could have done something similar to that. That would have made it a little higher on my list at least. Number 8, Yeti Campground Kills. Okay, I understand the Yeti stuff. It's fun for people, or at least scary. I talked to some people who went through this house and they thought it was scary. I did not think it was scary at all. I think that's genuinely because when we were in line waiting for cast change to happen, there was about 3 different bears that we saw. So I already knew that it just already ruined the surprise. Like, I know there's no way to hide the bear, because the bear is a pretty big costume, and I know it's supposed to be kind of the funny part of it. It gave me a killer clown from Outer Space vibe, but it wasn't a scary house, so it's not great. It was a funny house, but it wasn't scary. Number 9, and I only rate this 9 because of we went through this house twice. Dueling Dragons. Dueling Dragons was supposed to have 4 endings. We only went and saw 2 endings. We went through Fire, Ice, and got both. I believe it's just where they win. No, apparently there's an ending where Merlin's head gets cut off and the winner has the head, fire or ice. We did not get those endings. We got other endings where they were just winners. It was a beautiful house. The makeup was done right, the theming was done right, the storytelling was done right. When you first walk into the first room, they have all the, it looks like panes of glass so they can tell you the story. Well, it wasn't scary at all. And I know Universal typically takes a not scary house and makes it kind of scary. This was not scary at all. You could walk through it with like your 4-year-old. Like, it was not bad at all. It was really nice. I did like that Universal did the different endings. I wish they could have been different every night, like a different version of it every night. Because I know we went for 2 nights. First night we did the ice side, and that's where they would just win. The second night we did the fire side, and it was just a winner. They did not have the Merlin's head. I wish I could have seen that. I wish we could have gone for 2 more days to see if we could have seen it, but we couldn't do that. But I do like the different endings. I wish they just could have done it differently. Number 10, and this isn't gonna surprise anyone because I don't think anyone really liked the house, was Chucky. The Chucky Ultimate Kill Count, to be precise. There was story there, because last year while we were waiting in line, this was announced for Halloween Horror Nights 32. Well, we were super excited for it because I do love Chucky and I have always dressed up as him for Halloween, but we went through the first portion of the house and it's like, it's supposed to be, oh my god, he's taking over, and it's supposed to be like a really bad house, and then Chucky starts taking over and kills everyone and possesses these people in the second half of the house. We didn't get much jump scares, we didn't get a whole lot of story at the end of it, and you kept seeing Chucky on screens. You didn't see him in a puppet form like they did in a previous house of Chucky or the scare zone of Chucky. They did not do that. I wish they did. It would have been a little bit better at least. It would have been rated a little bit higher at least. I wish if they did this sort of ultimate kill count again, I wish they would have made it longer and or had a different ending. Like, not have multiple endings like Dueling Dragons, but at least have a second ending to where Chucky comes out and he says something, or Chucky does this and he dies, like that kind of thing. I wish that could have happened. I did not really like the Chucky house at all. We went through it one time and that was good. These are my rankings. You're welcome to fight me in the comments for the houses, but please don't fight me because I will cry. My predictions for next year will be, I know they've already confirmed that they are not doing a Five Nights at Freddy's house and or scare zone. I hope they do something like they did in California where they have like a walkthrough of like, you can see all the Blumhouse movies as like little photo ops, like something like that, but in Cabana Bay, because I know they always do a photo op in Cabana Bay and they have like a little something there. Five Nights at Freddy's photo op would be great. Fear Street, I love Fear Street. If you have ever watched it on Netflix, you need to watch it. It is Goosebumps meets gore. So think of Goosebumps, but with a lot of bloodshed. If we could do a Fear Street where it's a scare zone, that would be cool, because then Fear Street, and then do that between like where the shipyard area was. That would be great. What else did I? Evil Dead house, like California did last year instead of what was it? So we got Exorcist, they got the Evil Dead movie. I wish we could get the Evil Dead movie and they get the vice versa of that, because from what I saw from the Evil Dead house that they had there, it was amazing. I need that in Orlando, like immediately. Universal, if you're listening, you need, please. Evil Dead. Just saying. That is a house, that would be great. If we get another Last of Us, I would be perfectly fine with that. If we get a part 2 of Last of Us, that would be great. I know they haven't finished, or they started filming as the time of this video. They started filming the second season of The Last of Us, and it's actually going to go into The Last of Us 2 video game. I wish we could get a little bit of that. I know that's kind of like spoilery for people, but I wish we could do that. That would be great. So far, there's nothing that's been announced or teased. I believe, I have a screenshot of this, they said something on the official Halloween Horror Nights Orlando Instagram, but other than that, there's been radio silence, and by this time last year, we had at least 2 houses confirmed, in a scare zone at least. And then the year before that, pretty much everything was confirmed, so I don't know if we're keeping it secret up until it gets closer to time to start selling the tickets, or what, because I know typically around March is when they go on sale. Like end of March, beginning of April is when they start going on sale. So if we get anything, we'll know at some point. I also hope that we have some better scare zones, because they're a little better. I wish we could bring back the Eddie's scare zone with the killer clowns with chainsaws. That was a really good scare zone that we went through 3 years ago now. I believe that was 2021. The only thing that ruined it was, of course, this was right after the pandemic, so everyone was wearing masks and you couldn't really hear anyone, and I felt really bad because I was like, I know you're protecting yourself, but still, I couldn't hear anything. Plexiglass ruined it. That's just